Yo, good morning, everybody. It's happy Sunday, Sunday fun day, chill day. What's going on? Um, just kind of working out the kinks here before I get started. Boom. Make that stand out a little bit. Okay. Probably won't be live very, very long. It's Sunday, so I don't want to take up too much people's time, but I do want to talk about some things. Hold on, just a chair. Jesus. But I do want to talk about this. I want to talk about the OnePlus Nord N10. Why it's grown on me in the last couple of days. It's just grown on me a lot. Now, of course, brand loyalty is not a thing, at least in my eyes. So if someone's going to be like, bro, you're supposed to be like the Pixel guy. Like totally. Like, I know. But it's refreshing to use something different. Absolutely refreshing to use something different. And refreshing that it's a mid-ranger. Now, if someone wants to ask me, does this beat out the Pixel 4a? I'm gonna say it's on par with it. There are things that this does better than the Pixel 4a, and then there are aspects of the Pixel 4a that I totally dig over this. But for the foreseeable future, for some time now, the OnePlus Nord N10 5G is going to be in hand. Now, again, I know it doesn't have 5G access on any other carrier except for T-Mobile. I did a lot of research digging in as to why. Apparently, this would actually work on AT&T's 5G. However, AT&T blocks that, which is kind of crazy. I'm gonna throw it on the charger for a little bit. That's one major thing I do like about it, is that it has warp charge, so it's gonna charge up pretty quick. But the other model of the OnePlus Nord N10 will work on AT&T and will work with 5G. So if the model number is BE2026, that'll work. If it's BE2025, which is the Metro version, it's not whitelisted by AT&T to use the 5G network. So it's only going to use 4G, which is fine. It's fine from now, because who knows what 2-3 years down the road what phone I'm going to be using in hand. So it's not like this is permanently my phone forever. But it is refreshing to use it. So currently right now I have the Los mobile SIM in that phone. And the cool thing about this, and this is really cool, I threw my visible SIM in the iPhone XS. Okay, and the Los mobile line that I have currently set up, because the way that AT&T does things. So if I wanted to use hotspot, it was set up where a hotspot would work on the iPhone. If I was to throw it in my Pixel and turn on hotspot, it would give me an error code. I would have to go in and change the IMEI and all this other stuff, right, in order to make it work. I don't know why AT&T does that. They do it. It's not just a simple throw your SIM in and everything works. However, that's the case with the OnePlus, because I threw the Los mobile SIM in there and I wanted to test it out, and I turned on hotspot, and hotspot turned on. I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. So I turned on the hotspot, and then I connected a device to it, and the device connected, and I ran a speed test, and it showed AT&T, and it did the speed test. And I was like, wait a minute, this is provisioned for the iPhone. What is going on here? But hell, I'm not gonna complain too much, because that saves me the trouble of having to have everything provisioned to go back to Android to use it. So that's cool. I can use a hotspot. I'm not using it right now to live stream. So if the stream gets pretty wonky and starts to crash, I apologize. But yeah, it does. As a matter of fact, should I demo it? I think I should. Okay, so let me demo it real quick so you guys know. And Carlos can confirm that it was provisioned for the iPhone. So if you look at my iPhone, it says visible LTE. Okay. And hold on, make sure that there's no Okay, no private messages. All right, so if you look there, it says AT&T. Now, I am going to turn on mobile hotspot, and on the iPhone, I am going to make sure it's connected. So it's connected to the AT&T. It's known as GhostNet. All right, we are connected. All right, so now it shows we are connected to Wi-Fi. And now, right? Speed test time. And you guys are going to hear air interference because now it's picking up the mobile hotspot thing. All right, so it's connected. And if I was to throw that SIM back into the iPhone, mobile hotspot will work on here. It is weird how AT&T does that, but I mean, it's okay though. It's totally okay. There's if anyone wants to know what the downlink is, there's the downlink from right here. But anyways, let me disconnect the hotspot so I can turn it off. Yeah, so I just thought it was weird. Like, okay, because normally you have to have it you have to reprovision it. And this is not just Los Mobile. This is AT&T in a whole. Like you have to reprovision what device your SIM is in, if it's on Android, if it's on iOS, in order to be able to use mobile hotspot. So I thought it was refreshing to be able to throw the Los Mobile SIM in the OnePlus, and it not needing to be provisioned, so I don't have to reach out to Los Mobile customer service. I don't have to bug Carlos and say, hey man, can you switch this up so I can use a hotspot, because he's a busy man. I hate bothering him for anything when it comes to phone service and stuff like that. I hate bothering him for stuff because I know that he's out there doing his thing, and I just don't like bothering people. So yeah, it's working great. So right now I have it on the Warp charger. That's one of the big things I like about the OnePlus Nord N10 is the fast charging. It's really fast charging it up. So, and and I play Pokemon Go. I've opened a public profile on Snapchat for Pokemon Go, and I've been sharing clips on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm really into the game. People don't question it, whatever. I'm really into the game. I like it. So that's just me. And it's just one of the new elements that's going to be reoccurring on this channel besides, talking tech, just kind of like giving more, allowing me to create more content. As I know there's people out there who play Pokemon Go. When I played Pokemon Go Fest and I did a live stream, there were some people that watched that were Pokemon Go trainers. And last year, earlier this year, I did a live stream. I think it was on Community Day or something like that. And there were people that watched. So, not completely shifting the channel over to Pokemon Go, and no, I'm not one of the full-fledged I guess you could say Pokemon Go trainers for YouTube. There's quite a bit of them, like Mystic 7, who I enjoy watching thoroughly. Trainer Tips Nick, I enjoy watching his content. Let's see, was it this is Brandon Tan, him, FLW, Pokey AK. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy watching their stuff. Yamada, who plays Pokemon Go in Japan. I like watching their stuff. I like getting more inside information, because I'm not a major Pokemon Go person. So like I don't know all aspects of Pokemon Go. I just thoroughly enjoy playing the game. So if someone wants to come to me and be like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about on this, yeah, save it for another time, because I'm not an avid, in-depth Pokemon Go person. I just like playing the game. And I know what Pokemon is because I grew up to it. I've seen a lot of people in my school playing the card game. So yeah, I'm just not a Pokemon nerd. I just like playing the game. And then, of course, there are things about the game that, if I know about, I'll share it to other people who are like me that are not, in-depth Pokemon Go's or Pokemon scholars, but love playing the game. So, I mean, that's the idea of it. And, of course, I shiny hunt. That is my thing. It's probably a cliche, but I shiny hunt. That's my main thing I do in Pokemon Go is I look for shiny versions of each of the Pokemon. So while catching them and completing the Pokédex, I like catching shinies. But anyways, before I get into the whole Pokemon Go news, just finishing up with the OnePlus Nord N10. So yeah, that's the only downside to it is that if it's not the model number BE 2026, it will not connect to AT&T's 5G. From what I'm seeing, it does have N2. I know that it does have N2, and I forgot what the other one is. That BE 2025, which is the Metro version, it's compatible with, but it's just not whitelisted by AT&T, and it makes sense. We knew about this way back when they were talking about it, that there were going to be some devices that, you know, if you got it unlocked, you wouldn't be able to bring to a carrier because the carrier would rather have you use one of their devices instead of bringing a device from another carrier over. That's just their thing. They want to make sales besides selling you a monthly plan. Like if you're paying $85 a month, that's great. That's solid. You know what? Like they got you on $85 a month. They know that that's reoccurring money that they're going to be getting. However, if they could sell you on a $300, $400 device at least once a year, that also maintains the company in the black instead of going into the red. So it does make sense that AT&T would want to be able to do that, keep you locked in on those on using their devices and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it sucks though, because if you have a 5G capable device, you're not able to utilize that 5G unless you're with the carrier with the carrier MVNO that the device is from. So like I have a SIM card with Q-Link and tested out, you know, their services and stuff like that, which is great. And I do know that Q-Link services also has free lines. So like if you're on any type of government assistance or anything like that, you can get a SIM from Q-Link and get service with them, and it's free. So I do know that they have that. But I have a SIM with Q-Link. Q-Link runs on T-Mobile. And I popped that SIM into the OnePlus to test it out, and it did connect to 5G. However, Q-Link meters their data. So therefore, even though I was getting 5G signal, and in places, it was only doing like maybe 1 megabit on the downlink and 1 megabit on the uplink. And that's understandable, you know what I mean? You're not paying nothing for it, you know, so yeah. Anyways, my time is almost up with that SIM, so the video I'm going to do about it, which should be helpful to people out there. And please, when I do this video and I talk about it, those people who are well off and everything, don't knock people who are going through hardships and stuff like that. That's what this video is going to be about. Not this live stream, but the video I'm making about it. That's what it's going to be about. Don't knock them for being on hard times. Like, that's really effed up if you do that. You know what? People have, there are people that are going through all, you know, they come from all walks of life. You know what I mean? Let's not be D-heads and just pick on somebody because they have to use a free thing or whatever. And people that are just like, well, it's my hard-earned tax dollars going to it. Save it for the pity party, because you know what? Like, we all understand it. There are some people who abuse it, and that's the reason why some people feel that way. However, there are people who absolutely really need it, and you know, are appreciative that, you know, you as a person are paying out of your tax dollars to help them. You know what I mean? So they're not like, how do I put it? They are humble for it. They're not, you know, expecting that they have to have it from you. You know what I mean? Let's be adults about things. When that video dropped, you guys will know. And I decided to do that because I was able to get a hold of the SIM and test it out. And yeah, you know, I just figured, hey, you know what? Like, I don't see too many people covering that, so let me cover that. So that video will be coming out this coming week, and I'll be able to, you know, shed some light on it and everything like that. So several things about the OnePlus, you know, besides the fact that it has the warp charging, which I absolutely love, because, you know, if I'm on the phone watching media and stuff like that, and maybe the battery's down like at 20% or whatever, I pop it in on the warp charger while I take a shower real quick to get ready to go out, to maybe go meet up with some friends, go play Pokemon Go, maybe go out to dinner with my lady, or just, you know, do different things, pay bills, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, if I put it on the warp charger, take a shower, come out, get dressed, you know, put on some smell good, you know, so I'm ready for outside. And as soon as I take it off the charger, it's good to go. Like, I'm good on battery, you know. I mean, yeah, it has a 4,300 milliamp hour battery, but I'm good on battery to go out there and not have to really charge it till I get back home later that night. So that's one aspect of the OnePlus Nord 10 that I really, really like. I mean, the big display is good. It is big. So it is going to be, it is out of my comfort zone when it comes to phones, especially like if I carry both the iPhone and the OnePlus. But then that's a bonus too, because if I'm tired of holding the OnePlus in my hand and using it, I can always just put it in my pocket and bust out the iPhone XS, which is a smaller phone, and just get right at what I need to do. I have the same apps on both phones except for Snapchat. Snapchat is on my iPhone, but if I need to use a smaller phone because my hands are hurting, I can always go down to this phone and use it. So carry both with me. I don't have a case for the OnePlus Nord N10. I am planning on getting one here pretty soon to keep it nice and protected. I don't want what happened to my Pixel 5 to happen to this one, so I'm being extra cautious now. Although Oscar did say he was going to send me out a couple of cases he had for the OnePlus, so I'm actually pretty stoked for that. I told him if he can, he can. If he can't, like I'm not expecting it. So hey, what's up, Ray? What's going on, man? I'm not expecting it, but if he can and if he does, I told him just hit me up so I can be on the lookout for it in the mail. He did ask me what kind of case I wanted. I told him I wanted a red case for it because he had one. He said he was going to throw in an extra case for it last night, so I was like, cool. So I might end up with two. But that's that's if he does send it. I understand if he can't send it. I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting him to do it. I mean, that's totally at his discretion. But if he does send me those cases, I really, really appreciate it. So shouts out to Oscar Federico for that one. If he sends me those cases. And when he does send me the cases, I'll probably do like a review video on the case and how it fits to the phone, how the cutouts are and everything like that. Give him the credit and shout out for it too. So, I mean, there's that. There's another guy that lives here in Mesa that I found an actual OnePlus case. So it's OnePlus logoed and everything, and it's for the Nord N10, and he's holding it for me until later on this week, and I'll go pick it up from him. So I mean, if I get that case plus the cases from Oscar, I'll have 3 different cases for it, which is nice. I like options when it comes to my phones. I mean, I have multiple iPhone XS cases, but I'm just really, really locked to this Adidas case. I mean, obviously, for one, the design and everything I really like about it. But Adidas is my favorite shoe brand currently right now. If you were to ask me what's your favorite skate shoe brand, then it's going to be Circa Footwear and Osiris. But just like everyday, like running shoes, hiking shoes, just regular shoes and stuff, it's Adidas. I love Adidas. I've always had since I was a kid. So that case, when I found it on OfferUp and this kid was selling these, I was like, I had to get one. And I got one. And it's a banger. I like this one. So I'm hoping to get some nice cases for the OnePlus Nord N10. I'm going to be using it for a while, stepping away from Google Pixels. Not that I don't like Google Pixels. I really do. They are my go-to. If you were to ask me, what phone am I going to use? If I only could choose one for an entire month, it's going to be the Pixel 5. I don't give a damn if the screen is cracked. I have a screen protector put over it, so I don't have to fill the cracks in it. I would stick to that phone if I only had to use one phone. However, it is refreshing to step away from it and be able to use something different. It does have similar aspects to the Pixels. So as far as like the UI and everything like that, it really does kind of feel like the Google Pixel phones. But I can definitely feel that there's absolutely a huge difference between them. And that is that OnePlus has much more customizations when it comes to like the accent colors, the fonts, the app icons, and all those things make a major play. And I really wish that those things were brought into like stock Android. I do know with Android 12, when it rolls out, we are going to be able to have these themes, which is really nice. If you switch a wallpaper, it'll automatically switch the theme. And then it gives you like 3 different options of the themes that you can choose. And I think that's a good idea. The one quintessential thing I think it's missing that I think a lot of people would absolutely go bananas over is if you could apply a third-party icon pack to the stock Android theme. So that would be absolutely great. It does have something similar to that. It's not really an icon pack, but what it is that if you're in Android 12 and you go down, for those who have Android 12 Beta 3, if you go down into the the style and wallpapers, if you long press the home screen and the little card pops up, you choose style and wallpaper. Not only do you have the ability to switch from dark mode to light mode from there, and also see what color options or colorways is created from the AI based on your wallpaper, but you have the ability to theme your icons. And if you theme your icons, then it's going to have a slightly different look on the home screen only. It doesn't affect it in the app drawer. If you go into app drawer, you're going to see that YouTube looks exactly the same, white circle with a red YouTube play button in the middle. But if you go and put it on the home screen, it's going to change it and theme it up on the home screen. So that's actually a nice touch, and I think it's pretty cool how that works out. So But OnePlus has more customizations on it. I kind of like that. It's got all these different gestures and features, like gestures. If you draw a C on the screen, if you draw an O on the screen, or a V on the screen, you can have it do certain tasks and everything. I have the stock Android apps and stuff like that. So, oh, looks like we're losing a little bit of a signal here. That's kind of crazy. All right, it's back to normal. Okay, so anyways, yeah, I don't use any of those additional features or stuff like that. No, probably, possibly. Hey, Emmanuel, what's going on, man? Sorry if it's getting buggy. I apologize. I did not connect it to Lowe's mobile hotspot, so it's actually connected to Cox Internet, and that's why it's going to be very finicky. So bear with me on this, but I appreciate you being here. Yeah, so I mean, the OnePlus is actually pretty solid. And for the foreseeable future, it's going to be in my pocket. It's one of my daily driver phones that I'm going to always take with me when I go to work, go wherever I'm going to go. I take it with me. And then the iPhone XS. And the iPhone XS is the only major iPhone that I have right now. All the other iPhones that I did have, I gave. My daughters have them. My second oldest son has them. So he has an iPhone 7, but he has a 128 gig model. And my oldest daughter has an iPhone 7, but she has a 32 gig model. So they both have those. My youngest daughter has the iPhone 6S. The iPhone 6S Plus, I have to get the screen repaired on it. It actually separated from the body. So I have it tucked away. That phone is actually pretty solid itself. And if I get it fixed, I probably would use it, because I do like the design of the older iPhones. But the iPhone XS is actually pretty good to itself. But I've seen the XS Max, and it's pretty big. So the normal size XS works great for me. So these are the two phones that I'm literally going to be carrying in pocket, is the OnePlus Nord N10, the iPhone XS for some time. And that'll give me a little bit of separation from Google Pixel phones, and when I go back to the Pixel 4 or the Pixel 5, they, it is. I mean, well, I don't know if some of you guys know how it is. When you have like multiple phones to shuffle between, you end up rotating around them a lot. This is the reason why, if anyone wondered, like, you have all these SIM cards that are active, you have these phones. How do people get in touch with me? Technically, I use Google Voice. Google Voice is the number that I give out to everybody, because I can download that app on all these phones and use them on all these phones. And when you call the Google Voice number, they all ring. So I use Google Voice as a number that I give out for everything, doctor's appointments, things like that. All that goes to Google Voice. Only my family has the different mobile numbers that I have, specifically from the carriers. And that's just, so I know if it's family calling, because it has a specific ringtone for actual carrier phone calls. And then there's another ringtone for Google Voice calls. So I can determine the two. And Google Voice works out pretty well. And I know people are going to be like, well, there's stuff like text now and things like that you could use. Yeah, I could, but Google Voice really just does it for me. Set it and forget it type of thing is really what I look for. And that's what I get out of Google Voice. So that is, yeah. Anyway, switching tracks now. I'm going to be talking about Pokemon Go. It's a game that I really, really like to play. And there's been some changes that's happening in Pokemon Go that are upsetting a lot of people. Matter of fact, there's been petitions created, and I think over 200,000 signatures on those petitions. And this has to do with Pokemon Go and what the settings they're changing in the game that's affecting players. Now, it's kind of weird. I read up a little bit about it. I've listened to some of my favorite Pogo YouTubers, and pretty much got it pieced out together. So I figured, I would just talk about it on this live stream, because I am transitioning and bringing Pokemon Go videos and stuff like that to this channel, as well as tech. I mean, Pokemon Go, I could follow that up with tech, because it's mobile gaming using technology like such as AR. So I figured, hopefully you guys enjoy them. I think it's fun. It's a fun game to play, and it gets me moving around. I keep telling people I'm type 2 diabetic, so a game like this that I have fun playing that keeps me moving and stuff like that, is really good. So shouts out to Niantic for that. But however, they're making changes in Pokemon Go right now, and it's kind of like really crazy that they're doing this at this time right now, because we're not out of the weeds yet when it comes to the whole pandemic and everything like that. There's a new strain that's out that has people in fear again. Mask mandates are coming back, and the country's been divided again, but now it's not about political point of views and things like that. Now it's about the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated, and there's a lot of people that's vocally expressing those that are vaccinated are being not every one of them, okay, so don't take offense to this, but there are some people who have been vaccinated and they're acting very hostile to the unvaccinated on social media, which is why I'm kind of taking a break away from so many different social platforms that I have, because I'm tired of hearing the same old stuff, even if it's stuff like threats towards the unvaccinated. And even though no one's going to be able to touch me because they don't know where I live, they don't even know who I am, it's still kind of disheartening to see things like that. So we're in this debacle right now. We're in this conundrum, and Pokemon Go had their game set up to accommodate for people to keep safety in mind totally. So they increased the distance away from Pokestops, which is what you have to spend to collect items, so you can use those items in the game. Like that's where you get, you re-up on Pokeballs, you re-up on berries and things like that. And so it used to be 40 meters away from a Pokestop, which is what they set it as during the pandemic. They set it at 40 meters. So it gave a safe distance away from it. And if you were playing while driving in a car, you could, if you're at a stop sign, you can spin that Pokestop. You didn't have to get out the car and walk and be within 20 meters of the Pokestop, which was really close. You had to be really close to the location to be able to spin that Pokestop. So being 40 meters away allowed you to basically reach it from your car, which a lot of people played that way. I mean, I know way back when Pokemon Go first came out, literally people were spoofing because they wanted to be able to catch regional locked Pokemon. There were specific Pokemon in certain regions of the world. You had to be there in order to get that Pokemon. Like Farfetch'd, he was in Asia and in Japan. So people spoofed. Okay, people spoofed to go get these things, which, if you don't know what spoofing is, basically it's tripping the what's it called, the GPS, to make it seem like your device is somewhere else when it's not. And there were a lot of apps that did that. There were a lot of methods that did that. I'm not promoting that. I'm not saying that you guys should do that. Do that at your own discretion, because if you get caught, your account is banned. So your progress, everything that you've done, how much of the Pokédex you've completed, every Pokemon that you've caught, every shiny you've caught, every Hondo, which is 100% IV, and every Shundo, which is a shiny 100% IV you caught. All that will be lost if you're caught spoofing. So don't do it. But if you are going to do it, you know what? That's on you. But people were doing that. There was a petition that was done 3 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, because there were, one of the big problems with Pokemon Go was people were worried that kids were going to walk off into dangerous spots. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody put a specific gym in an alleyway, and they were afraid that kids were going to walk in there, and there would be predators in there, and all these things, right? So they petitioned to try to have some sort of joystick mode where a child can play from home. And the big argument with that was when people were like, kids want to play Pokemon Go, so why not enable a joystick so they can just move around their city with a joystick without leaving their home location. And people were like, yeah, there is a game that they can do where they can sit at home and play. It's called Pokemon on a 3DS or a Nintendo DS or whatever, right? And yeah, that kind of makes sense. But it doesn't have the same atmosphere as Pokemon Go, which uses your hometown as the playable ground, right? So you're not playing like in the games, for instance, the original game that came out on Game Boy, like Pokemon Blue and I think it was red version, green version, and yellow version. It's not like that, where in those games it's based on made up towns like Pallet Town, Vermilion City. It's not made like that. It's not made based on your town, and that's what the kids wanted. So that petition failed, and now there's a new petition now because Pokemon Go has as of today, decreased the distance from you spinning Pokestops. Now, the crazy thing about it is that while it went from 40 meters to 20 meters, so you have to be within 20 meters of the Pokestop to spin it. For gyms, the 200 meters distance is still in effect. So they didn't drop the distance for gyms because people go to gyms to either battle a gym or to do raids where, like, you know, a specific monthly Pokemon is available in a raid where people can group together and battle this Pokemon, or even battle legendaries. Like right now, Dialga is in 5-star raids, and you have a chance if you raid for Dialga and you beat it, you have a chance to get shiny Dialga. So a lot of people are going to group together and they're going to try and take this thing down because it's very strong. I mean, you could try to do it by yourself, and if you have the right Pokemon with the right IVs, you could probably solo a Dialga, but you're going to burn through a lot of Pokemon. But anyways, so people group up together to try to take this thing down. So, you know, maybe one person out of the group will get lucky and get the shiny Dialga, and so they've kept the distance rate that they set during the pandemic for gyms the same. They only decreased for Pokestops, which is really, really, really confusing at times. But yeah, I can kind of see their point of view, though. Like, people don't group together to spin Pokestops. That's an individual thing that you do. You do that to re-up on items. You also can, you have to re-up items. The flip side to that, playing devil's advocate, is that, like, let's say, like, you know, like right now, you got a chance in the game right now to get shiny Cranidos or shiny Shieldon. And then of course there's the other shinies, like Kabuto shiny has been out, but you know, you got a good chance of running into that. You got a good chance of running into shiny Ammonite, shiny Volorb. So there's, you know, you want to be out there grinding, because I think like the shiny rate, if I'm not mistaken, the last that I read up on it, it's like 1 in every 200 could potentially be a shiny. So that's like huge. You got to really go out there and grind, and that's daily. And that resets too. So like, if like say today you play Pokemon Go and maybe the game had it to where like at your 87th Cranidos would be shiny, if you don't get to that point by the day, from what I'm understanding, tomorrow it resets and your potential shiny could be set at, you know, 115. You know, so it really makes it hard for you to find the shiny. This is why, you know, grinding for shinies is like, you know, it's my thing. I like to do that. But anyways, but I said, like, you want to grind for shinies and stuff like that. You're parked at this place, or maybe you're at work and you're on an hour lunch break, and you got a lure module. You can put the lure module on the Pokestop, which attracts more Pokemon to spawn. So if you do that and other people notice there's a lure module activated in the Pokestop, they're going to come and hang around there too to see what spawns for them. So playing devil's advocate from the whole thing of like spinning a Pokestop is an individual thing and doesn't require a lot of people to be around each other. That depends, because if people are grinding for Pokemon, especially right now, we're in unlock phase 1 because of GoFest. We completed all the tasks in GoFest, so this is unlock number 1, phase 1, and that's how we got shiny Dialga. Phase 2, we're gonna get shiny Palkia, so that's gonna be cool. But anyways, we are playing in an event right now, and so there's gonna be people that's gonna be grinding for shiny Cranidos and shiny Shieldon. Every day. Be prepared when you have kids. You have to settle disputes. But anyways, so with that being said, there are a lot of people that's grinding out. So if you set up a lure module in an area and other people flock to be around it so they can see what spawns for them, you're technically creating a group setting. Similar to like raiding. Yeah, you can keep your distance, but you know, you don't have to spin the Pokestop for that. You just have to be around it while the lure module is active on that Pokestop. So it's not like you have to actually engage with the Pokestop. You just got to be within 40 meters of it, because it's going to spawn all around. So a lot of people are upset, and I understand. I agree too. I think it's too soon for them to reset things back to the way the original gameplay was before. because of the Delta strain and stuff like that. Yeah, because of the Delta strain and stuff like that, you know, we're not out of the weeds yet. So I feel like that it's too soon. Kind of, I know that everybody wants things to go back to normal. Like some people don't. Some people don't want to even go back to work. You know, some people do. I do know that states want their people to get back outside and get back to life. And you know, with that being said, I just feel like that maybe Niantic could have waited a little bit more. Maybe waited until like, you know, fall of 2021 and then revert things back, I think. But at the same time too, I'm not going to be like a Debbie Downer or a Donnie Downer. I'm not, because I do understand. Wow, I kind of lost the stream there for a second. Like I was saying, I'm not going to complain about the game changes and stuff like that. I know that this was eventually going to happen. I know that Pokemon Go was not going to last forever. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with those changes. You know, it sucks, but it is what it is. I'm not going to boycott the game. I'm still going to go out there and shiny grind. So, yeah. I just wanted to make that clear. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Very quick one. Not very quick one, but a quick one. Close to 40 minutes long. Thanks for everyone that came in and listened to what I had to say. The stream is kind of failing, and I just don't know. Cox's internet just totally sucks. But yeah. If you guys want me to talk more about Pokemon Go stuff, let me know in the comment section. I mean, I'm still going to do the Pokemon Go videos, but if you guys find it interesting, let me know. You know, let me know if there's certain things about the game that you guys want me to talk about, at least my experiences. I'd be more than happy to share that. Like I said, I'm not a Pokemon scholar. I just enjoy playing the game. Yeah, that is it for right now. Thanks for peeping the live. Y'all are clutch. And I'll talk to y'all later. As always, Law. Love, peace, and chicken grease. It's Sunday fun day.